Hang back. I'm waiting.
Oh my god, it's not attacking me.
Here we go.
Oh shit, she has like no ether.
Taking over.
There we go. Dude, this fight, man. Holy crap.
Watch and learn.
There! Bring it! Bingo! Watch yourself.
My turn. Come on.
Oh, I thought it was gonna come down.
Get ready. Pushing it.
I've got you covered.
Shall I give you despair?
I think we're all gonna die.
All right. Watch and learn.
Might as well give an elixir to Cloud.
I'm counting on you.
Ow. Please don't die.
Taking over. Shall I sever your fate?
Okay, that's not good. Oh, did we get him?
Pray for me.
Oh, Tifa's so dead.
I won't give up.
Yeah, I'll do it.
There we go. Killed him with Barret.
About time you showed it.
We can do this. We can. We can change it. Make it right.
shit, we're going through a freaking Stargate.
Careful now. That which lies ahead does not yet exist. Our world will become a part of it one day, but I will not end. Nor will I have you end.
This is...
The edge of creation. Cloud, lend me your strength. Let us defy destiny together.
Never.
Cloud's freaking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Not yet. Seven seconds till the end. Time enough for you, perhaps. But what will you do with it? Let's see.
Mr. Vice President.
Mr. President. That's right.
Zack survives?
Wait. Was that all of them? Hey, Cloud. Do you see that?
Here.
Thank you.
Oh, Big survived?
Marlene,
Interesting.
Daddy?
Marlene! I'll come back.
So, what now?
Sephiroth. As long as he's still out there.
I thought you beat him.
We can. We will. Count me in.
If it's to be a hunt, you could use a nose like mine.
I'm in too. Bastard wants to destroy the whole planet, doesn't he? An enemy of hers is an enemy of Avalanche.
Almost there, Cloud. We're almost there.
I don't know.
I miss it. The steel sky.
I would be lost, drifting alone, floating up high, time after time, and there you'd be, shining brightly.
Interesting. So, other than the possibility of Zack being alive brings in a lot of confusion. Zack. Now, if Zack somehow dies between the past and now, it's fine. If he dies like after he brings Cloud closer to Midgar, it makes sense. But if he's alive, that creates a major problem with Cloud's story. Like a major problem with Cloud's story. Because Cloud was living his life after Zack died. Was living his life for Zack, pretty much. Like, his entire psyche, everything about Cloud was broken because of the Nibelheim incident, including the direct aftermath of that with Zack dying. Like, his mind was broken, and that's what gave him this idea that he was basically the embodiment of Zack, that he was Soldier First Class, that he was all this stuff that he really wasn't, that he was just a scrub. So Zack being alive now, the alternate universe is fine, because to be honest with you, this was what I was thinking before. Here's what I was thinking of before. Let me turn this down a little bit. If you take a look at all of the of the Whispers, and you look at what they've been doing this entire game, they've been keeping it the Whispers this entire game have been keeping it canon. Chasing like Aerith off at the beginning, even because she wasn't when Cloud gets caught by Shinra, Aerith has already left in the original, because if Shinra found Aerith, it would be, probably bad news. So like the Whispers chased Aerith away before Shinra got there. Like when Cloud's told that he's not part of the mission for the second reactor. Yeah. But like, even when Cloud was told he's not going on the mission on the second reactor, the Whispers attack and injure Jesse, so that Avalanche has no choice but to bring Cloud along and to ask Cloud to come with them. Because you have Jesse who's injured, and then Biggs or Wedge, Wedge has to watch over Jesse and Marlene, because Jesse can't really watch over both of them because she's injured. So that means Cloud has to go. Them killing Wedge in Shinra Tower, because the fact that Wedge shouldn't have been alive. Preventing them from stopping Reno from putting in the code to blow the plate. Something like, there's a lot of things that they prevented to make sure that everything was going. And so now that the Whispers are basically gone, Wedge could still be alive, who knows? But now that the Whispers are done, it gives creative freedom for the directors to create maybe not a different game per se, but allow for different things. Right, so like you could still have canon things happen. You know, because Cloud is still Cloud. A lot of the stuff that Sephiroth does to him can still be done to Cloud because of the cells and because of everything that makes Cloud who Cloud is. My big question does this allow for the thing that, I mean, I remember when it happened, and like a lot of people were pissed about it. Like a lot of people were pissed about it. And there was all the rumors about different ways that you could bring her back and all this stuff. But does this allow for the possibility of Aerith not dying? Then my big question is, was that Sephiroth current Sephiroth? Was that because in canon Sephiroth is not there. Like Sephiroth doesn't show himself until much later. Like Sephiroth's actual body, the body of Sephiroth is in the North Crater. That is, I'm pretty sure that's where Sephiroth is. Because he fell into the life stream, and that's where he, like, went to. And he started, like, accumulating his body or something like that, and making himself stronger in the North Crater. And all the other Sephiroths that you had seen were the robed people. Yeah, the possibility of Aerith surviving is there. But the Zack surviving part is the thing, like, I mean... Let's remove the Zack part for now. So like I'm pretty sure the Sephiroth killing of Aerith wasn't technically Sephiroth. It was one of the robed people who Jenova can create visions, and created the vision of Sephiroth from one of those Jenova clones. And that's what killed Aerith. If I remember right, that's like technically what it was. So it wasn't really Sephiroth that killed her, it was a Jenova clone. And Jenova gave the vision of Sephiroth. So my question is that Sephiroth that we were fighting? Because when he died, he just turned into a bunch of whispers and all that kind of stuff. So was that Sephiroth a future Sephiroth? Like post-Advent Children Sephiroth even? And for that matter, does Aerith have visions and an understanding of the future of what the canon timeline was? Like, is this kind of more of a sequel, in a sense, as opposed to a reimagining or something? You know, is this actually kind of maybe a sequel? Yeah. Where maybe Aerith had knowledge, because when she's there and she's talking to them about, right before they cross over, she says, this is the, you know, why did you stop me, you know, from going into that portal thing at the end, and she's like, because this will change who we are, this will change everything, this will change, you know, this is the crossroads of destiny, once we enter here. And it kind of scared her. Yeah, I think she has visions of... In fact, she might have the complete understanding of what the old timeline was, and she knows... Maybe. Because when you think about it, if that is a future Aerith, she knows that Sephiroth doesn't die. Even though Cloud kicks Sephiroth's ass, Sephiroth doesn't die. Because his life stream is birthed the 3 people in Advent Children, who when joined with the cells of Jenova, rebirths Sephiroth. So if that's the case, then Aerith from the future would know that the natural flow of fate does not end in Sephiroth being destroyed. Which means maybe there's something like, see, this is ballsy. Like, in my straight up opinion, this is ballsy by Nomura and Katase. Because everything about what they've just done hinges on what Part 2 will do. Part 1 was amazing. I'm gonna flat out say it. Like, this was a masterpiece type of game, in my opinion. It was amazing. I thoroughly loved it. Some people don't like the ending. The fact that people are talking so much about the ending, about what it could mean or what it could do, whether you like it or not. Yeah, like, whether you like it or not, people are talking hardcore about this ending, because I've tried to, I've kept away from it, but I know that there's discussion about it. So whether or not this ends up great, Part 1 was fantastic. Part 1's great, but this story, this project of this remake doesn't mean anything unless they capitalize on some amazing stuff in Part 2. This is where my problem is, though. Everything up to that point is awesome. I like the fact that they've got some big-ass balls, and they're going to go ahead and say, hey, some of these things may be the same, but there's going to be differences. And it gives them a way out with this whispers and being done. But the biggest problem I have is Zack, if Zack is alive. That's my big problem, is if Zack is alive, that's a big problem. How the fuck does Cloud get his sword? That's Zack's sword that he gave to Zack, or that he gave to Cloud when Zack said, "You're my living legacy" at the end of Crisis Core. It's like, you're my living legacy. He gives the sword to Cloud and dies. And Cloud takes on the persona of like a soldier first class, because his brain is so broken from everything that happened to him. Because the Final Fantasy VII's main thing was, there was a lot of stuff in it, but its main thing around Cloud was personal, like finding yourself, your personality, you know. Cloud finding out that he was a nobody. You know, his brain was completely broken, but the truth that he lied to himself, because he wasn't even soldier. He was a grunt, like those people that we kill at the very beginning of the game when we get out of the train. That was Cloud. Cloud failed out of soldier. He couldn't pass the entrance exam. Cloud was an absolute nothing. He was exposed to Mako. There were a few other things in his story I cannot remember, but I want to say it was maybe he was injected also with a little bit of cells of Genova. Because anyone who went through the soldier program did that, I think. But I'm pretty sure Cloud never actually made soldier. But he went through the process. And the reason why Sephiroth is able to control Cloud at times, like in original OG Final Fantasy VII, like when Sephiroth tries to use Cloud to kill Aerith before he fights it back, and then Sephiroth kills Aerith. And even in the North Crater at the end of the first disc, I think, of Final Fantasy VII, it was first or second disc, or one of them, I can't remember. He manipulates Cloud and like is able to control Cloud in giving Sephiroth the black materia, which then summons Meteor. And then Aerith goes and tries to summon Holy, and then she dies. So yeah, like Cloud is pretty much a nothing. Now, I could be right. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I played Final Fantasy VII. I'm pretty sure that is the canon of Cloud. I might have to look it up. But I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then Tifa helps when Tifa and Cloud fall into the life stream. After the attack of Ultima Weapon, I think it is when Tifa helps Cloud discover his real identity. Because I'm curious, in Part 2, if they have to start off with Calm in Part 2. Because Cloud has to tell, because God, you miss everything about what Final Fantasy VII, the original story, is trying to tell. You can still do this, while still, because the fact that Tifa, like, Tifa's so desperate to hang on to something from her past, which in this case is Cloud, who witnessed, who experienced the stuff that she experienced in Nibelheim, that she allows Cloud to pretty much lie about the events of Nibelheim because she's too afraid and doesn't want to tell him that he's not telling the truth. And that he was never there. Technically, he was there, but he was in a freaking Shinra uniform with a helmet on. He was just a grunt. He was there at Nibelheim, but he was not Zack. Zack was the soldier with Sephiroth at Nibelheim, not Cloud. And like, Tifa allows that lie to permeate because she's that desperate to hold on to Cloud. That desperate to like hold on to something from her past that can understand the loss of what happened at Nibelheim. And then Tifa breaks down and helps Cloud when they fall in the live stream to put his psyche back together. Yeah, so like Cloud's entire story hinges on Zack being dead. That's right. So if Zack is alive in a new storyline, then how in the hell does Cloud's story even make sense? Because another thing, Hojo was about to tell Cloud that he was not Soldier. I mean, he did say, he's like, you're not Soldier. And right when he said that, the Whispers came and took him away. Because Cloud was not ready. That's not when Cloud finds out that he was not a soldier. That's like way later on in the story. That's when Sephiroth gets into his mind and shows the images of Nibelheim. And they look at the picture that Cloud said that he took with Tifa and them and how he's in this picture. And he shows the picture to Cloud, and Cloud's nowhere in the picture. It's Zack, Tifa, and Sephiroth. And that's what triggers Cloud into his coma or something like that, if I remember right. It's an awesome story. And I'm okay with them maybe playing around with it and stuff, but with Zack, that's the only problem. With Zack living, that creates the problem. Zack being alive creates the problem. Nothing else really does. Everything else seems cool. Seems like a really cool way of being able to explore the world of Final Fantasy VII. Explore the characters of Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, I could agree with that. And who knows? We don't even know if he is alive. For all we know, Zack brings Cloud to like the cliff edge, and that is when Zack dies at the end of Crisis Core, and Cloud crawls up to him, takes the sword and stuff like that. I don't know. That's why I say it all hinges on part 2. Like, it really does. Like, it could be... Because part 1's fantastic. But I've never seen a series of games... Oh, we got more? Oh, okay. I've never seen a series of games... where part 2... This part 2 determines everything. Yeah, it really is. Pandora's box is open. But like it's everything. Part 2 is everything right now. I'm excited for it. That took balls. That takes balls, man. That takes gigantuan balls. Time to wait 5 more years, dude. Man, I hope not. Man, they got assets. So I'm thinking they just got to worry about. Let's think what they would have to do. Okay, obviously you're gonna have some character design as far as a few of the characters like Yuffie, Vincent, Kate Sith. We know Kate Sith is around because we saw the cat when Sector 7 was falling. We saw Kate Sith. We saw the cat. Yeah. Sid. And Sid's a pretty important character to the story. Very important character to the story. So you've got them. So you'll have more character design. But as far as battle systems go, as far as a lot of assets have already been made, You got to create more environmental assets and stuff like that. You got to do writing, story planning, storyboarding, all that kind of stuff. You're going to have, voice actors coming in and doing all that stuff and things like that. So the big deal is how quickly, or really the big deal is how much do they already have done? That's the main question. How much of the next part as far as writing and all that kind of stuff do they already have done? Because I don't know at what time they decided that Remake, this part, was only going to go up to Midgar. Because maybe they already have assets in development, environments already in development, already made, that they had to hold out because they were now going to break it up into parts. Who knows? I don't know. A lot of stuff. Man, look at that one life. Look at that one life. Look at that. We got hard difficulty now. Oh my god. Items cannot be used and only HP is restored at rest stops. Okay. Record of your adventure can be viewed from system play log in the main menu. The log contains information from battle records to story branches. New combat simulators become accessible from Hojo's lab. Test it out. Select chapter 7 from chapter select. You will now earn twice as much XP and 3 times as much AP. Bike minigame can now be skipped from the pause menu. Okay. That's interesting. Interesting. Where was it at? The story stuff? Might have missed that. I think it was only going to be... Yeah, could be. Could be. That's what I was looking for. Oh my god, we gotta get all the dresses. Pick up that disc. Yeah, I know, right? I missed 2 discs. Cool. Man, what a great game, though. What a great game. I did finish. Were you around for my thoughts, Penguin? Gonna go back in 100%. Dude, you know what? I'm actually thinking about doing it just for, like, on off-stream. For off-stream stuff, I'm thinking about doing it. But man, I really enjoyed this game. Like, so what I was talking about the ending, I was gonna give you a wrap up. I'm kind of okay with having like an alternate. I'm more curious if that Sephiroth was current Sephiroth or a future version of Sephiroth, and whether Aerith even. Maybe not future Aerith, but she sees the destiny of kind of like, is this Final Fantasy VII Remake a hidden sequel as opposed to a complete remake of the story? They have a lot of choices. There's only one thing. There's one thing that scares me. There's only one thing that scares me because that takes some balls. That takes some balls to be able to like have this thing where it's basically like, hey, there could be some similarities and there could not be some similarities. Like, I'm curious if Aerith will die, you know, and all that. But one thing that I am worried about is if they do keep Zack alive, that completely changes. I don't know how that completely screws up Cloud's story. Cloud's development revolves around Zack dying. Everything about Cloud revolves around Zack's death. I mean, Nibelheim incident and all that kind of stuff, but Zack's death is big for Cloud. So if he is alive, I don't know how they're going to do that. But I choose to believe that I think this is like the first time like in a series where part 1 was so good, But how well I like part 1 is going to depend on how good part 2 is. Like, it's one of those things where if part 2 sucks, then part 1's going to give me the worst taste in my mouth of any game. But if part 2 is good, then part 1's going to be like, damn, that was a masterpiece. Because right now I'm like, man, part 1, that was a masterpiece. That was fantastic. But if part 2 sucks, it's going to be like, man, part 1 sucks too. Man, I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed it. You know, there's some texture stuff. Claim was good enough to still make me happy. I'll tell you one thing. They nailed the characters. I loved the characters. Like, part 2 could be crap story-wise, and I still might like it because of the characters. I think they nailed the characters, like, dead on. Really, really enjoyed them. And even then, like I said, part 1 I felt was really good. I thought it stayed pretty true to the Midgar story. I even kind of enjoyed this whole the Whisper thing. I know it's not that popular. But the Whispers of how they kept everything. The Whispers were the things keeping everything canon, basically. They were fate. They were keeping everything down the straight and narrow of how it was supposed to do it. And I thought that was, man, it almost felt like the Whispers was the fan base. The Whispers were the fan base or something, you know, like making sure everything was right, making sure it was all right. He wasn't supposed to die. Oh, he's going to die. We're going to kill him. I don't know. I find it interesting. It's interesting. Like I said, part 2 determines everything. Part 2 will determine everything. I choose to think that I know Nomura can get off on tangents and he's a little out there, but I choose to believe Katase isn't gonna like. I have a hard time believing Katase is gonna take the story of Final Fantasy VII and completely shit on it. So I choose to believe that they're gonna make a really fantastic and interesting part 2. We'll see. We'll see. Really enjoyed it though. Had a good time with it. Had a really good time with it. I'm definitely gonna 100% this game. I just won't do it on stream, but I'm definitely gonna 100%. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's save. All right. You cannot leave the main menu. Oh my god. You can never play a new chapter from the beginning by accessing chapter selection. You'll be unable to use this data. Yeah, make sure you save or you're screwed. All right. Well, that. All right, got all the DLC stuff. That was FF7 Remake. Boom. All right, guys. Give me about, let's say 15, 20 minutes. Dude, seriously? Seriously, playing this game, I completely agree with you, Penguin. Playing this game, I'm like about to just like bust out my Switch and start playing some FF7. Or I think there's about to be an update on some mods on the for PC for old FF7. There's a couple mods that do some really good stuff. I'm thinking about maybe playing it on PC. I don't think I'll stream it. It's a super long game at times, at least when I play them. When I play Final Fantasy games, man, these games end up being super long. So I probably won't stream it, but I definitely want to play it on my free time, on my non-stream time, because it's just nice. See, it's got an achievement. I'm playing it on Steam. It's got achievements. I'm playing it on Steam. But yeah, I've wanted to go. Like playing this has made me want to go back and play the old FFs. And I think that's what makes a good game, in my opinion. Something that makes you reminisce and gives you something new, but also makes you want to relive some of the old nostalgia, because remembering the excitement, because I was excited. There were some moments in this game where I was just flat out excited. Like the little person inside of me was just like, this is freaking awesome. And I think that's a testament, because it makes you want to go back and play it. I know I am so sad about Jesse too. Sad about Jesse too. Maybe Jesse's alive, who knows? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's so much. Like, if Aerith ends up being able to live and survive, it's one of those things where it's like, obviously you know that death is going to happen, but if there's a possibility that it might not happen, like, dude, that is the fact that you're talking about one of the biggest deaths in video game history of whether it will happen and whether it will not happen, when you're talking about a story that's already 23 years old, and we're now asking the question, will Aerith die? When, you know, if you would have asked me any time prior to, you know, the last 23 years starting today, I would have been like, duh, Aerith dies. Are you an idiot? And we're now at a point where you can ask the question, will Aerith die? And you go, maybe? All three of them live together? Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But I just think that's awesome. That's the part of this that I think is cool. Is that it's a story that we all know, that a lot of people know. And we're now asking the question, what's going to happen next? Takes balls, and if they don't do it right, it'll blow up in their face. Entirely, it'll blow up in their face. But if they do it right, dude, this feels like this could feel like living through Final Fantasy VII all over again. Like the excitement of the original Final Fantasy VII, same characters, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I think that's kind of cool. It's ballsy, it's controversial, I'm sure, of course, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I think so too. I don't see them screwing this up. I mean, I think they understand how important it is. They understand how important it is. For sure. I think they're going to do some amazing things with it. Anyway, guys, I'll be back. Give me about 20 minutes. Give me about 20 minutes. I'm going to take care of some things, kind of decompress a little bit. So we'll be back at around like 8:20. I'll keep the stream going. We'll just have some music going on or something like that in the background. But I'll keep the stream up, and I'll be back at about 8:20 with some more Nioh 2. Guys, y'all want to see me completely suck at Nioh 2? Get ready. It's been like a week since I played Nioh 2. I was at peak Nioh on Thursday night. And I'm about to be at shit Nioh. It's like way more, dude, man. Hey, it's Nioh. Nioh makes us our bitch, or makes us their bitch. Daily. Anyway, guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead, put on some music. I'll put the opening screen on. I'll just take the countdown off. Yeah, man. I'll see y'all in a little bit. See y'all in a little bit.